Hey guys, I either want to welcome you to my channel or welcome you back to my channel. It's Malika, and thank you for joining me today as I talk a little bit about setting intentions. If you caught my last video, I kind of reintroduced myself to the YouTube community as a life coach. My earlier videos touched on hair care, curly hair maintenance, hair routines, and those types of things. And if you're interested in those, please check out those hair related videos. But very recently, I decided to relaunch my channel in a new direction. And so now I'm here to offer you some life tips, give you some strategies on living your best, your creating a happy life for yourself. What makes me qualified to talk to you as a life coach? And I'll say simply this: I have been through so much craziness in my life, and like I shared in my last video, I had just gotten to probably my lowest point 12 years ago. And after hitting rock bottom, and please check out the previous video so you can kind of get that full story without me going back into all of that. But after hitting rock bottom, I just became a student of myself and of how to create a really happy life. Because at the end of the day, that's what I want. I want to be happy. And I had to spend some time and really get clear. First of all, get clear about what it would take for me to be happy, like what I really wanted. I think I spent a lot of time waiting for happiness to show up, and even though I really wasn't clear about what that looked like, I was expecting it. I was definitely expecting God to do something in my life, even though I wasn't clear about what that something was. And because I wasn't clear, I was just making a lot of random decisions in my life, and I didn't know what was leading me to make random and sometimes reckless decisions, especially in the area of like relationships. I just didn't know what I wanted, and I didn't even know that I didn't know what I wanted until just it felt like everything fell apart for me. So after things kind of falling apart, I took some years, and I still study, but I took some years to really get clear about what I wanted for myself and how do I make that happen. Here's one thing, and this is really what this video is about, is setting your intentions for your life. What is it? What is it? And I ask my students this. I teach 9th grade English, and I ask my students, especially when I first meet them and all throughout the year, I try to bring everything back to what is it that you really want? Who are you and what do you want? And I don't necessarily mean today, like I want a slice of pizza, or I want $100 so I can go buy this handbag. I mean, what is it that you want for your life? What is your vision for your life? And then like beyond what do you want? I think an even bigger question to figure out is why? Why do you want it? I think when we figure out what we want and then the motivation behind it, like why do you really want that? If you can figure that out, then you're on to something. And once you figure out what you want and why you want it, then you can really, I think the why really puts that engine behind the what, and it gets the ball moving. So this video is about setting intentions, getting really clear about what you want, and how to start making those things come into your reality. So as I was telling you a little bit about my story, once I hit rock bottom, and rock bottom for me looked like a failing marriage, because that's what was going on in my life at the time. My marriage was failing, and we eventually divorced. That marriage did eventually end. Really horrible financial situation. At the time, I had taken a year off. I quit my teaching job. I started a nonprofit organization for girls, which was very noble. It was part of my passion. It was a branch of what I was passionate about, which was helping people. I knew I was clear 12 years ago that I wanted to help people, and one of the ways I was doing that was through a group I created for girls. So I thought at the time that I should quit my job, even though I had no plan on how I was going to build a business out of my nonprofit. I quit my job, and I spent a year or so trying to create income off of my nonprofit organization, trying to build the organization and create income for myself. So, and hindsight is 2020. When I look back on it, I definitely needed that time off from work. And even though I completely went broke, I mean, like completely went broke, the best learning in my life took place. That's when I got a hold of the law of attraction and how to turn my life around and how to really create, not wait on, but create the life that I want. It is up to you to make certain moves and to do certain things in a certain way if you really want to create or attract to you the things that you're wanting. So step one, I think, and what I will offer out in the last video, I talked a little bit about the law of attraction and how that works. So, you know, I talked about what you think about, you attract. You create your life based on what you're thinking, okay? It's so much more to it than that. But the basic premise is ask and it is given. Like the universe, or if you want to call it God, God is always responding to your desires. God is always responding to what you want. But you got to ask for what you want. If you don't ask for what you want, it doesn't happen. How do you ask? Well, you ask by setting intentions. You ask by getting clear about what it is that you want. You ask by your focus. You ask by what you're thinking about. The things that you're thinking about is your way of communicating with the universe energetically through your vibration. That is the asking. That is the pulling forth, okay? And so really what it sets you up though, is it can work either way. You're either setting yourself up to get what you want because you're thinking about what you do want, or you're setting yourself up to get what you don't want because you spend a lot of time or most of your time thinking about what you don't want. So let me give you an example. If you are wanting to improve your finances, and you know for yourself that ultimately you want better finances, you want to improve your credit and you want to create more income. Okay, that's a desire. Universe heard that, okay? But if you spend most of your time thinking about the fact that you don't have good credit, if that's what's predominantly on your mind, that you don't have good credit, or you spend a lot of your time upset about or worried about the fact that you don't have enough money coming in, your predominant thoughts center around the fact that you don't have what you want. When you focus on what you don't want, you get more of what you don't want, versus thinking about what you want, even if you don't have it. And I think that's a trick. Focusing, allowing yourself to think on more of what you don't want, even if it's not in your reality right now. If you can find a way to stay in the space of what you do want, allow yourself to vibrate around what you do want, then you begin to attract more of what you do want. So without going too much more into that, because I think I'm going, as I share with you my experiences and give you more tips and strategies, I think more of the law of attraction and the mechanics of it will come out. Set intentions. Okay, so let me give you a couple of tips, and let me tell you what I mean by set your intentions. Let me give you an example. A student in my class the other day was, I'm trying to figure out, I have so many things that happened at school, I'm trying to figure out exactly what she did. Okay, the kids were coming back from lunch, and they have to get back into my classroom by a certain time or I close the door. There's a cutoff, just like in real life. When things are due, like for example, in your real life, you got to show up to work on time. So I'm trying to teach my students real life strategies. You got to show up on time or there are consequences. So the consequences, if you do not get to my door by a certain cutoff time, I close the door. And once I get the class started, I go back to the door, I open the door, and then you have to explain why you were late. Just like if you show up to your job late, you're gonna have to explain to somebody. You don't just walk up in there, you gotta explain to somebody why you're late. Okay, so a young lady, I saw her in the hallway because I stand at my door. As the kids are transitioning back into class, I stand at the door and I watched her. She was taking her time and having conversations and playing on her phone, not really focused on getting to class on time. Okay, the rest of the class made it in on time, and as I was getting ready to shut the door, she decided to kind of start running toward the door, and I closed that door. So I went back to the door after I got the kids started. The class started on their activity. I went back to the door, I opened the door, and I just kind of stood there and I looked at her for a minute, and she looked at me like she was a little confused about why I had her standing outside. And I asked her a simple question, this simple question: what is your intention for today? And she was like, I don't understand what you mean. What is your intention? What do you intend to do during this class period of the day? She still didn't quite understand what I meant. Okay, then I broke that down. Do you intend? Did you when you came to class today, as you were walking to class, did you intend on coming inside the class and maximizing your learning opportunity, or do you have some other things on your mind that you intend on focusing on? What is your intent? What do you want right now? And my point to her as I stood out there and started to break that down is, you base your decisions and your actions on your intentions. What is it that you want? And I think even when we aren't clear of our intentions, even when our intentions are more subconscious and not necessarily obvious to ourselves, your actions are based on your intentions. A lot of times, most of the time, you're acting based on what it is that you want in the moment. So if you get clear about what you want and intentional about making those things happen, then you simply just align your actions to those intentions. If you get clear about your intentions, what it is you want for yourself, and you clearly ask God, clearly ask the universe for those things, and you stay in a relaxed state about it and just trust and believe that once you ask, you will receive. Ask and you shall receive. That's how it goes. Ask and you shall receive. It didn't say ask and worry. Okay, it didn't say ask and doubt. It didn't say ask and keep checking in with God every 5 minutes. It said ask. That's in the Bible. Ask and ye shall receive. Ask and fall back and allow God to bring it into your reality in the best way that it's supposed to show up. It didn't say ask and orchestrate. It didn't say ask and make it happen. It says ask and you shall receive. If you ask God and then you listen to your intuition, if you listen to your inspired action, God will tell you the things, your spirit, the universe, will tell you the things that you will get inspired action. Okay. I've had several intentions. I remember when I was at my lowest point. At that time, I knew I wanted to be in a healthy relationship and I wasn't in one at the time. I knew I wanted better finances and I definitely didn't have them at the time. I knew I wanted my career to be happy and fulfilling and it just wasn't at the time. Okay, so I got really clear that these are the things that I want, and I started allowing God to show me what to do. And over time, hold on, let me finish that thought. And over time, it wasn't perfect. It wasn't perfect. I was learning how to listen. Like, I was learning to discern. That's another video. How do you discern God's voice? How do you discern what your spirit is saying? Notice I'm using certain things interchangeably. God's voice, your spirit, your intuition, all that's the same thing. Okay. I was learning how to discern between God speaking to me, or my intuition speaking to me, and then my ego speaking to me. And there's sometimes it can be confusing, but there is a difference. When God is inspiring you to do something, you feel energized about it. It feels right. It's not necessarily easy to do. It might challenge you. It might push you out of your comfort zone. It feels right. Okay, it doesn't feel forced. It won't feel forced. It will feel like the next best move to make. So I remember let's go to the relationship thing. In that particular marriage, I just knew the next best move was to get out of it. I didn't know what was to come. I didn't know what the future would hold. I knew my goal was to eventually have a healthy marriage. I knew I wanted to be married again. I just knew the marriage I was in wasn't it. I knew, and then it wasn't that he was horrible or I was horrible. That it just that particular situation wasn't for me. It wasn't right. And so all I knew at the time was get out. And after prayer, and I God, are you sure? Because what I was afraid of at that time, when I think back to I was 27 years old at the time. And I think back on myself, I was so scared to be alone. That's something else you want to keep in mind. When you ask God for something, God will do a work on you. You're not always ready for what you ask for. That's why stuff doesn't happen tomorrow. You're not always ready. A lot of times you are not ready for what you want. There is a grooming, a pruning, a priming that has to happen before you receive those things. You have to go through there's a process. You know, you don't plant a seed. You don't plant a freaking tomato seed outside in your garden and come back tomorrow and you have tomatoes. Like, there is something that's going on underground, and a lot of times you have to be buried under dirt. Like, you got to go through some stuff to be ready. And quite honestly with you, if I was 27, I am now married, but it took about 10 years, 8 years, 9 years for my husband to show up. And there were all sorts of challenges. I could write a novel on all the stuff I went through in between that point and today. But I finally got here, you know, and I just had to trust God. I had to allow myself to make mistakes, because you're going to, and learn from those mistakes. But none of that would have happened had I not gotten clear in my intentions. I was clear. I wanted to be in a healthy relationship. I wanted to be in a healthy marriage. I mean, it's always been very important to me since I was a little girl to be a wife. I've always wanted to be a wife. And I think one of the lessons I had to learn, it wasn't, I want to be a wife at any means necessary. And at that time in my life, I was willing to do anything to be a wife. And it wasn't about that. You know, it was, I wanted to be a wife to the right person. But I had to grow into that understanding. But at least I had set my intentions 12 years ago that I wanted to be not just a wife, but I wanted to be in a happy, healthy marriage. And now I can definitely say, like, now as I step back, I see some of those things that I asked for. I see a lot of the stuff I asked for many, many years ago. It didn't, but trust me, it didn't happen overnight. Not at all. But I'm here in a lot of regards. I can remember those finances being horrible. And I went through a lot. Getting a divorce meant a foreclosure. So I went through a foreclosure. I had to let my house go. I went through getting a car repossessed. I had to let the car go. Like, everything moved around. I had to move into an apartment with me and 2 children. I had a young, like a 2-year-old and elementary age child. We moved. It really meant, that divorce meant starting over for me. And in almost every way imaginable, I was starting over. And then the dreaded, oh my God, I'm alone. I had to deal with that. And so all that was left was just me and my kids. Me and God. I was faced with just being in the room with me and God. And I had to deal with it. There was no way out. There was nothing I could do about it but get clear. Even more clear. This is what I want. So over time, I just listened to those and believe me, it took me a long time to. You set your intentions, and then God tells you to do stuff. Universal is going to give you tasks. There are things you got to do. And there was a journey to cleaning up my credit, a long one, but it meant being a better governor over my money, making better decisions, not being impulsive, being very disciplined, doing things on purpose with my finances. And now my credit is in the high 7s. I can remember when it wasn't even 500, but it was setting an intention. I've also dealt with body image issues all my life, and you can't see my body in this video, but I've come a long way. Like, I remember I've always been really obsessed about being a certain size, and I would work out, always on a diet, and not really sure what was driving that. And was it because I wanted to have a certain image to the outer world? Was it something I needed for myself to affirm myself? Like, I didn't feel good about myself if I wasn't a certain size. I mean, just a lot of crazy stuff that had to be worked out. And then as I got older, it became more about being healthy. My intention changed. Now, I'm not saying I still want to be a certain size, for sure. But my intention was about being in a healthy, happy body. And then as I listen to what will it take for me, once again, listening to what God has for me, not for everybody on Instagram, not for everybody on Facebook. Because if you are influenced by what's happening on Instagram and in social media in general, it puts a lot of unnecessary pressure, especially on women, that I gotta look like that and I gotta do it like that. Like, if you use those as influences, you gotta use your intuition as an influence. And so God gave me a way to be in my best body. And there's another book I can write on how I finally got into the body that I like. I love my body now. I feel so comfortable. I'm happy within myself now. So let me give you, I want to offer you some strategies. That's one thing for sure. In every single video, I want to offer you a strategy that you can use to start to get the ball moving in the direction and whatever it is you say you want. One thing I mentioned in the previous video is visualizing. Remember, what you think about, you get. Okay, you think what you are allowing yourself to focus on, that's what you're getting more of. So one thing that I do, when I wake up in the morning, I lay there and I visualize. No one knows I'm doing it, but I lay there and I literally visualize. I might be visualizing what it is I want for the day. I might be visualizing what it is, something I need to, a situation I might be in that I need God to work out for me. I might be visualizing a long-term goal that I have for myself. I'm visualizing. No, I try to see my life as I want it, not just as it is. You are definitely experiencing your life as it is right now, but a lot of the work that you need to do is visualizing what you want your life to be like, what you want to see. That's pre-paving. Now, you're thinking about something either way. You're either worrying about, oh my God, how am I going to pay the mortgage? I'm not sure if I'm going to have enough. Or, oh my God, I can't get my body in that dress. Or, what's going to happen in my marriage? Or, why can't I find somebody? Or, you're either worrying about what you want, worrying about the fact that you don't have it, or you are allowing yourself to be in the space of what it is you want, even though you don't have it. You see how different how different that energy feels? I know I don't have the relationship I want right now, for example. I can either sit and feel victimized, feel sorry for myself, sit and cry, sit and worry, wonder every time I leave the house, am I going to meet somebody? Here's the difference. This is how you know. This is how you know if you are in the right vibration, okay? And your emotions have so much to do with what you're attracting into your life. If you feel contracted when you think the thing, if it makes you tighten up on the inside, you're probably thinking the wrong thought. When am I gonna meet somebody? Am I ever gonna meet somebody? Why doesn't anybody ever approach me? Things never work out for me. It makes you contract. That thought, which has a correlating emotion, which is something negative. If you look at emotions on a scale, the lower emotions feel bad when you think them. Anything that feels bad when you think it is not in alignment with what you say you want. When you think good feeling thoughts, which are higher in the vibration, if this is a scale, down here being like a low, let's say 0 to 10 being the highest vibration. Low is depression, disparity, doubt, worry, fear lives down here. But up here you have expectation, you have joy, you have happiness, you have those happy feelings, okay? And then even in between, you have feelings like a relief. You have feelings like release. You have feelings of expectation. Like there's a scale. Your thoughts, your feelings fall within a scale of emotions. You want to vibrate and it sets your vibration. Your emotions set your vibration. So you want to vibrate as high as possible. What you want, whatever you say you want, the vibration you need for it is up here somewhere, not down here. You are not attracting what you want down here. Depression ain't getting you nothing. Doubt ain't getting you nothing. Fear ain't getting you nothing. But more of that. All you're going to do is attract more of what you're thinking about. So you're going to get more of what you fear, more of what you doubt, more of what you don't want, okay? If you stay up here, you get more of what? Appreciation. How about appreciation? God, I don't have how much money I want, but at least I got something. My bills got paid. Hallelujah. That's appreciation. That's gratitude. God, thank you for working that out for me. See, that's gratitude. I might not be where I want to be right now. I might not have the job I want, but I got one right now. I might not have the man I want right now, but I have friends and family that love me. That's a much higher vibration than, damn, is it ever going to work out for me? If somebody I'm going to go to the club tonight, I hope somebody try to talk to me. So you see that. Okay. You want to try to stay as high in your vibration as possible so you can attract what it is that you say you want. You're not attracting it down here. You're not. So try to keep your feelings, and it's all about training how you're thinking. It's all about training how you're thinking. If you can just reach gratitude and appreciation, you'll be good. If you can just reach on, I'm going to just allow what happens. Acceptance is better than doubt. So work on your feelings. Work on how you're looking at things, and things will start to work out with more ease for you. Let me offer you a strategy. I'm going to give you something that maybe you can read, and then that's it. All right. In the last video, I talked to you about vision board. I mentioned it. Okay. So I told you visualize. I wake up in the morning, I visualize. I might be visualizing something that I want to happen today. Visualizing just peace in my classroom. It's not always something very extensive. Peace in my classroom. I might be visualizing. And notice I'm closing my eyes because I'm allowing my inner eye to do the work. Okay, I'm allowing. You can visualize, trust me. Anytime, because we sit around and we work. When you sit around and you worry about stuff, all you're doing is visualizing the worst possible outcome. Okay, but so you can close your eyes and imagine what you want. Okay, so wake up in the morning and just think about something that you do want. If you can hold that thought for 16 seconds, you have set a vibrational domino into effect. If you can hold the thought of what you want for 16 seconds, like I literally used to set a timer. How do I know this? It's something I studied. Just trust me on that. If you can hold that thought for 16 seconds, you have now attracted an even stronger thought to support the visualization that you have. If you can hold it for 68 seconds, if you can hold the thought that you're having, your visualization, for 68 seconds, you have set the manifestation process in place, okay? Try to hold on to your visualization for at least 68 seconds. You have set the manifestation process into place with your visualization. It's coming if you can stay in vibrational alignment with it. That means if you don't worry about it, okay? If you don't worry about it, if you get up every morning and you affirm that this thing is going to happen for me and just start thanking God for it, and it might not happen what you want when you want it. You know, that's what they say in church. That's what we say in church. It might not happen when I want it, but it's going to happen right on time. The timing piece, you got to let go of that. You got to let go of, it got to happen now. It's going to happen when it's supposed to happen. And that's the beautiful part of you being the co-creator of your life. You're not the complete and total creator. God is the pilot. You are the co-pilot. Consider yourself the co-pilot. You can say, hey, God, I want to go in this direction. And God is going to determine, the universe is going to determine the best possible way to bring that to you, the best possible time to bring it to you. And it's going to happen when it's supposed to happen. Vision boarding. Okay. So one thing that you can do to set your intention, that's what this video is about, setting intentions, is to literally feed your subconscious mind images of what you want. All right. How do you do that? One way is through vision boarding. So this is one of my vision boards. Now listen, I made this vision board back in 2012. It's 2017. No, it was 5 years ago. Let me show you something. Okay. First of all, I'm going to just show you the center. I was not married at the time. I wanted to be. So you see up here, it says wedding, first lady. You see wedding dresses, love story, Mr. and Mrs. The Perfect Marriage. I know you can't see all of that. Okay. So in the center, all that stuff about marriage. 2016, I got married. Okay. I was in the relationship that I'm in at this time. I knew I wanted to get married. And what I chose to do was not press him about marriage. I mean, I ain't gonna lie, I'm a woman. So I let him know I wanted to get married. But instead of pressing him, guess what I did? I used the law of attraction. It's on my vision board. I'm married. I mean, I'm happily married now. Is it perfect? Ain't no marriage perfect. Nothing in your life is gonna be perfect. But it's absolutely what I wanted. He's what I wanted. Our marriage is what I want. And it's perfect for me. For sure. So that has come true. I can show you many vision boards with things off the vision board actually came true. Down here, OMG abs. Getting better with age. Showstopper. Be fit, be toned, be powerful. Natural born athlete. Okay. Let me put that down. So at the time, and I can't show you my abs in this video just by how the camera's set up. I'll do another one where I show you what's going on, what's popping. But at the time, I was still fighting the body image battle and want my body to look some other kind of way. And today, I'm sitting in the body that I really, really want. I'll do another video about how I eat and how I work out and just those secrets on keeping my body together. But I will tell you, even though you can't see that in this video, your girl's stomach is flat. It's on flat. On what you call snatched naturally. Listen, the vision board works. So how do you use your vision board? You just look at it every day, and you're feeding your mind, your subconscious mind, those images, and in time those things will show up. This is just one vision board where I've actually seen the stuff on the vision board become reality. I've kept that one just because I thought it was so amazing that the one thing I've always really wanted was the right marriage. I mean, that's always been, probably since a little girl, my dream was to be happily married. I'm definitely in a happy marriage now. So guys, this stuff works. I just want to reiterate to you that you can be, do, or have anything that you want. There's just a way to go about it. Don't feel sorry for yourself. You are not a victim. The universe is friendly. God loves you, and you are meant to have a happy life. There are proven strategies, just like with finances, just like with health and fitness, just like in career, in marriage. Like, there are proven strategies that you can use to get there, and I'm just here to offer you those strategies that have worked for me. So anyway, guys, give that a chance. Give vision boarding a chance. There are a lot of vision board videos out there that go into more detail about how do you make a vision board, but I think that's pretty simple. Go find you some magazines, get you a poster board, and cut out the images that speak to what you want. Simple, okay? Simple. What you're gonna have to do is just make the time to do it. Just do it, and put that vision board somewhere that you're gonna look every day, and then let the universe do the rest. You don't have to figure out how that's gonna come into your life. You just gotta actually create the vision board and then trust the process. Trust the process. You can see we're in my bathroom right now, and the writing on the mirror, those are either affirmations or things I want to remind myself of. Like, I'm gonna move the camera so y'all can see a little bit. Like right here, you probably can't see it. I said it on my last video, I'm the captain of my fate. I'm the master of my soul. I just want to remind myself. Right here, you might not be able to see it, but it says, God, what is your dream for my life? Like, I am very concerned. I'm gonna do another video on being in alignment, because sometimes what we want isn't necessarily what's for us. And how do you know if what you're wanting is God's will, or is it your will? That's another video for another time. But anyway, guys, give the vision board a try. Give the visualizations a try. Set
your intentions. Just take some time and figure that out. What is it that you really want? What are those things that are really, really, really important for you? Focus on those things. Thank God in advance for those things. It's yours. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them in the comment section. And please like and subscribe to my channel. It just makes me so happy. I'm always really excited to make these videos because I am keeping my word to myself through putting out the YouTube content. I've always had a real bad struggle with saying I'm gonna do something and then sticking to it. Like I try new things and it'll feel good, and then for some reason I can't stick to it. So I'm working on that right now in my life. Saying that I'm gonna do something and then doing it, and not letting the challenges that occur or distractions that may come along, not letting those things stop me. So I just want to thank you for being a part of my vision for myself, and that is I'm a life coach, and I don't know where that's going to take me, but I know for right now I'm right here doing what I know I was born to do, and I just want to thank you for being a part of it. It means everything to me. So thank you for joining in and watching this video. Please share this video. My intention with this video and all of my videos is that I offer you something that can help you achieve the life that you really, really want, and that I can share to just share and make the world a better place. All right, guys. So once again, thank you for joining me. Please like and subscribe to my video. Leave any questions in the comment section, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.